I'm your host Lisa, and you're with Vera Dulce, the show where we talk women, performance, and life. Vera Dulce comes from the Italian phrase La vita dolce, which means the good life. These are stories from women around the world on finding the good life, no matter what.
My guest today is Vera Looser. Vera caught my attention some time ago when she rode the Titan Desert Race, and prior to that when she rode with a previous guest on the show, Sarah Hill. Whenever I check out a guest for the show, I like to get a sense of who they are rather than just what they've done. Despite the fact that Vera has represented Namibia in the Olympic Games, she's fluent in 3 languages, she competes at the highest level in cycling riding for a pro team in Europe. To me, she portrays guts, grace, glory, and beauty in equal measure. It's a privilege for me to welcome you, Vera, onto the show today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Now, to listeners, we are actually recording this for the second time because Vera and I were like 15 minutes into our chat when I realized that I had not been recording. So it's an extra special welcome again to Vera on the show today. Vera, let's chat through 2022 because it's been, when I look at your track record, it's been quite a year. You won Namibian Road Champs, you rode the Titan Desert Race, coming second in the general classification. You got a 4th in the Commonwealth Games, and you recently won a stage in the Swiss Epic. And apparently your year is not even over. How has 2022 been for you?
So far, it has been great. It started well with the Namibian Champs beginning of the year, but then I got a little kick in the ass before the Cape Epic, got COVID, and I had to pull out. I was actually, and then I came back. I raced in Spain, the Vuelta a Ibiza with my partner. We won that from there to Morocco during the Titan Desert. Quite an experience there. Finishing second with I think 2 stage wins, and then from there racing on the road, improving every race, and finishing my road season off with a 4th place at the Commonwealth Games, and then from there straight to the Swiss Epic and winning the final stage there, also 3rd on the GC. So yeah, it's been quite a good year, but there's still quite a bit to come.
Now, we'll talk about the Titan Desert Race just now, but tell us quickly about the Swiss Epic, because you weren't actually going to race with your longtime friend, Kim LeCourt. What happened? And yeah, tell us a bit about the race.
So I actually wanted to race with my partner that I was supposed to do Cape Epic with, but then she ditched me for another partner. So I was looking for a partner for the race. I wanted to do it. It's almost my home race because I live in Switzerland. So I asked Kim, I was chatting with her about other things, and then randomly asked her, like, but why don't you come to the Swiss Epic with me? And she's like, oh, yes, let me think about that. Okay. And then 2 days later, she came back to me. She's like, yes, whatever, Vera, I'll come. And then I was a little bit not concerned, but I was thinking, okay, this was also something different. The mountains are big, the climbs are long, the downhills are long. But yeah, looking back at it now, it was not a problem for Kim at all. She loved every second, and we had such a good time together.
Amazing. And to achieve a stage win is phenomenal, so well done. Which is harder, Swiss Epic or Cape Epic, or is it just different?
The Cape Epic is harder. It is harder because there's more competition also at the Cape Epic. And with the Cape Epic, it's always rough on your body. You never have a smooth road or anything, which makes it hard. Where at the Swiss Epic, you often go up on tar roads, or the forest roads are so smooth, like you don't even get that in South Africa. So yeah, that's yeah, Cape Epic is definitely more difficult. Although the long climbs in Swiss Epic are also hard. You climb for over an hour. You don't have that at the Cape Epic. So
Yeah.
different, but I would say Cape Epic is more difficult.
Okay. Now, I reckon if you want to be a pro athlete, you should probably like go for golf or tennis, because I'm not sure. Like, I think cycling could probably be the toughest pro sport you could probably choose. I was chatting to a friend of mine the other day, and she was saying, "Oh, I wish I was a pro athlete," because she was having a tough day in office. And I said, "No, you don't. Like, pro life is not for sissies." I also think, people in South Africa have this grand idea about living a pro cycling life in Europe. Like, tell us the reality behind it.
So there is a rude reality behind it. I don't consider myself as a pro athlete because I don't earn most of my money with it. So I work a 40% job next to cycling, which I can do very remote, which is really cool. But that is the sad reality of most women in the sport. I've been racing on the road now for a Conti team, and you think, wow, it's a European team and it's good. But it's not that great behind the scenes. Yes, you get to do cool races, but most of the expenses you have to pay for yourself, and you don't get a salary, nothing. And you also can't say, "Oh, I'll live from the prize money," because the prize money is maybe 300 euros for the first person, and then you still have to divide that by the 6 riders. So there's nothing at the end of the day on your account. So it is really difficult to make a living out of it. I'm saying it definitely gets better. With the World Tour, Women's World Tour teams, they have a minimum salary that they have to pay, and you can actually live off that, which is nice. But there are only so many teams and so many places in the teams. So there is still a lot of teams in the cycling peloton, in the women's peloton, that don't earn a cent with it. And then you also can't expect from them to be on the same level as the pro athletes that actually earn good money with it, which makes it really difficult. It's a little bit more fair in the men's sport, but I think it's definitely getting there in the women's. It's just a matter of time.
I was really, really shocked to hear that you work, given like all the achievements that you've accumulated over the years. It's not like you are just some little, someone like me, like a weekend warrior going and riding. I mean, you've actually won stages and in some very significant races. So I have to say, I was quite shocked. Like, I couldn't believe it, and I don't think many people know the reality. Like, what keeps you going?
Yeah, I ask myself that often. At the end of the day, I love the lifestyle. I love being free, going out. I mean, I can work from anywhere, which I'm really lucky to have this job. But I can train, I can be healthy, I can be fit. I can do it together with my husband, which is also nice. So that's what keeps me going. And every time I think, oh, maybe I should quit, then there's another race, and I look at it, I'm like, oh, I still want to do that. So it's just not ending. There's so many great races out there, especially mountain bike races, that I still want to do. So I don't know, yeah. Something
Amazing.
just always gets me back there.
Yeah. And now your husband is a pro too. Like, how does that work? I'm sure it has its pros and cons.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it probably has more pros than cons. We can do our lifestyle together, which definitely helps. We can travel together. We can train together to a limit. He has to turn around the top of the mountain and get me at the bottom again. But otherwise, yeah, we both eat the same healthy food. We don't drink loads. We don't want to go party. It's just our lifestyle that combines really well. And now this year, with being on the road a lot, it's actually been great. Yeah, we can spend so much time together, exploring new places, and yeah, so that's quite cool.
That's super cool. And now, I mean, given what you know now, what advice would you give to women who wanna get into the peloton?
Sure. It's quite difficult. I think you have to start young. I see it in Europe, lots of girls that start with races in Belgium, where it's easier to get in. Um, they don't need to earn money with it yet because they can still stay at home and stuff. I would say coming from Africa, that's a little bit more difficult because you actually at first have to get overseas and you don't have any connections there. Um, which is probably also why so little Africans, if I can say that, make it in the pro peloton. It is about the support, the national federations. If I see how Switzerland supports their national athletes, it's amazing. We don't have that support in Africa, unfortunately. But yeah, it's never stop dreaming. I mean, there's girls like if I look at Frances from South Africa, she's come to Europe, she's found a great team, but it's also not a thing that you can get in a season. You have to come back and back and back again. And so, I mean, she has showed us all that it is possible. She's also started at the bottom with quite a late age as well, and now she's up there, one of the best cyclists in the pro peloton. So it's definitely possible. It's just, yeah, you have to keep trying and keep doing your best.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we chat about plans for next year, run us through the Titan Desert Race. Give us the picture, because it looked, if the pictures on Instagram are anything to go by, I was very happy to be sitting at home.
Yeah, the Titan Desert, it's a crazy race. It's in Morocco. It's actually a 6-day mountain bike stage race. The stages are quite long. It's around 100 kilometer per stage. It's hot. It's brutally hot. Our one day was actually shortened because of the heat. Over 40 degrees. You sleep in these haimas. It's basically black carpets that they make a tent out of. It's super hot in there during the day, like a sauna. You don't go in there during the day, but it does cool off in the night, so you can actually sleep quite nicely. And it's all in the desert. It's a whole camp in the desert. Lots of people, mostly Spanish people. And then, yeah, you have which is special. It's not a normal race where you just follow a route. So you get a track from the organizers and you get waypoints or checkpoints. And you have to pass the checkpoints, but you don't have to stay on the course. So if you can see a checkpoint on your Garmin, you always navigate with the Garmin or whatever tool you're using. And then you can just go straight to the checkpoint. If you see there's no dune or there's no mountain in between and it's rideable surface, you just go straight to that point. And I quite enjoyed that. It's something I like. I like navigating like that. I was also quite good at it. I caught a few of my competitors like that, taking Scallum shortcuts everywhere. So that's one special day. And on one day you even don't get a course for 50 kilometers of the route, and the first 8 kilometers is through the dunes. So your tire pressure is extremely low. You ride on 0.6 bars, and then once you're out of the dunes, you're on the rocks again, and then you're like, oh no, I just don't want to puncture. Yeah, and there's no shade or anything. So you get to the water point. It's a survival race, basically. You get to the water points and you think, oh no, I'm at the water point, but then all you get is like warm water because I don't have energy there to cool anything, or there's no food, nothing. So you have to take everything with you as well. And then to that point, one day is called the marathon stage, where you have to take everything that you need for the night and for the next day. You have to take with you. You only get a towel and flip-flops at the finish. And then everybody just sleeps in a huge carpet tent. So it's all open. There's just carpets on the floors and everybody just sleeps there. And I mean, for a woman, it's quite interesting sometimes. I mean, the men, they don't give a shit, if I can call it that. They just change there. They put their chamois cream on, whatever. So you really have to be quite tough. it's a race you also have to want to be doing. I chatted to a girl from Norway that at the airport going there, and she was like already like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna struggle, girl. It's gonna be a hard week for you. And yeah, it showed that she pulled out because it was just too hard. If it's something you don't want to do, you won't manage. Um, so yeah, on that marathon stage, you bring your pants and a shirt, and you wash your cycling kit, and you put it on the carpets for 5 minutes and it's dry because it's so hot. And I didn't even take a toothbrush. I just took my contact lenses with and gels for the next day, some sunscreen because you don't want to burn. And I had some people take blow up mattresses, but obviously we didn't want to carry that in the race. So I had a little silk sleeping bag. Luckily, I had my husband to keep me warm at night, which probably helped. But yeah, it was quite an experience. But it's like a very family orientated event. Although it's huge, but it's really well organized, and everybody's lying together in the chill zones afterwards. And yeah, but the best thing about the race is the chocolate crepes, that pancakes you get
Oh,
at 5 o'clock.
nice.
You had to buy them, but they were worth it.
Wow. Wow. And you mentioned that some of the competitors had domestiques, so they had people like supporting them, which you didn't have.
Yeah, that's quite. I didn't know it going in there. We actually raced for a team there, and the team manager always said, "Yeah, you will help me then." And then in the first stage, after 30 kilometers, he blew, so he was away, and I was on my own anyways. But yeah, the other girls all have a domestique that actually just rides for them and with them, and they fill their water bottles and they ride in the wind and they close the gaps
Wow.
and everything. So it's not a fair women's race, I would say, but if you know it, I guess you can plan with it. But yeah, it was a good race all in all, a very good experience and adventure for sure.
So actually, your second place was extremely well deserved. Well done.
Yeah,
Well done.
thanks.
And now you've been riding for Team Andy Schleck, but I mean, as you mentioned, you don't get paid for that. Like, what is the future? It's like, what is, you mentioned that there were still races coming up this year, and then moving into 2023, what does that look like?
So my original plan for 2022 was doing mountain bike races and the Commonwealth Games on the road. And then Andy Schleck contacted me, or the team Andy Schleck. It's actually not Andy Schleck, the rider behind
Right.
it. They contacted me and said they need riders for the classic races in May, or April, May already. And they asked if I can ride for them. So I said, yes, I would love to do that. I ended up not racing for them in April because I had COVID and I didn't recover from it quick enough. And I couldn't go into World Tour races with no training. It's no use for me or the team. So I started racing for them in the end of May, I think it was. And I did a few cool races with them in Belgium. And we did Tour de Suisse. We also dropped out because of COVID, because our team manager actually got COVID, which was quite a bummer. But yeah, it was quite a nice structure in there. But now of Commonwealth Games, I basically ended my road season for this year and I'm going back to mountain bike racing. Next up is the Marathon World Champs in Denmark. It's in 2 weeks. And then from there, we're still deciding, but we'll do another Teton Desert race, the one in Spain, Almeria. And then I'll come to South Africa for the Wine to Wales. So that's the 3 big ones. We're still planning, maybe still some few small ones in between. But yeah, looking forward to that. And then for next...
Yeah, 2023.
Yeah, that's still a very, very big question mark. I mean, I was a time where you look for sponsors, we ask teams and stuff, and it's incredibly difficult. Yes, I had a good year, but finding sponsors, especially financial sponsors that can cover your costs and that can maybe take part of your traveling costs and that stuff, it's so difficult. You just send out CVs and the people are all like, oh no, we already have somebody, or no, we don't support athletes, or it's always the same. And which is also really difficult. I see it now with me and my husband, that people are very interested in men, but they don't really much care about the woman. And I saw that one-to-one now last weekend, where we had a chat to a person, and they just don't care about you as a woman. You're standing next to it, and they just look at the man and like, oh wow, he's so great. He can do what in that time? And I'm like, I can never
And
do that
me,
time because, and I'll never be able to do the times that the men do because I'm a woman and I have different genetics. But for me to, like, it was at the big road race in Austria, and for me to come like top 400 with 5,000 starters with all the men, I mean, that's still a good result. And it's still a time that most of the men will never be able to ride, but I can't do it in 7 or 7.5 hours
right.
because I'm a woman. So it really scales down your performance just because you're a woman, and that's really, really hard. And also most leading positions in the company that can actually make the money free for sponsorships are men. So if you can't convince them, and they're always like, oh yeah, but you have a pretty face. I'm like, no, I don't have a pretty face. I actually have also strong legs, but they don't get that.
Right.
So that's
It's
quite
that,
hard, yeah.
yeah, it's actually the reason I started this podcast, because last year, I mean, I've been watching pro cycling. It's basically why I started cycling, is because I watched Marco Pantani and like Jan Ulrich, and I just got so excited about it. At that time, it never once occurred to me like, oh, but why isn't there a women's race? And only as I started riding and started getting into it, I was like, wow, why are there not more women riding? Like, why isn't there a women's Tour de France? Like, and for watching the Paris-Roubaix last year, like, I actually cried. I was like, how could it take 100 years to get this race? Like, that cannot be true in the time that I'm alive. Like, maybe in my grandmother's time, or maybe in my mother's time. And like, when I found out about the prize money, like, I still get so upset about it, because I'm like, this cannot be, it cannot be happening. Like, I don't, and it's just, I was like, I have to do something in my small part to like promote the sport, and to promote just like how, I mean, there are incredible women in the sport, such as yourself, doing incredible things. And, you know, I see like things like the Cyclists Alliance now, but like, yeah, how do we change it?
Yeah, it takes time. I think the women's road, it's moving into the right direction. I mean, you can't
Right.
change things overnight. That is true. With the prize money, that's a whole cycle. I don't think the prize money is where we have to start. I think it's the salaries where we have to start. And to get better
Correct.
salaries, you need more TV time. So we need to get
Correct.
sponsors. You need TV time. So that is actually where you have to start. You have to start broadcasting the races on TV, and not just online things. I mean, people like, if I want to watch the race, I'll go online to watch it. But if I don't know the race is happening, will never see it. But if I
Of
sit through the
course.
TV and it's showing on TV, and I'll be like, oh, this is actually a race. Oh, these are actually women. Oh, they can actually ride a bike. And it's actually quite exciting. And from lots of people I've heard, women's cycling is it's exciting. It's more exciting
It
than
is.
men's racing.
It is.
So there's definitely no reason that it shouldn't be there, but it will just take time. And I think we are in the right direction.
Yeah.
The races are shown on TV. I mean, look at the numbers of the Tour de France now. It's incredible.
Right.
With that, the sponsors will come. I mean, so many World Tour teams, men World Tour teams, have started a women's team now. That's also a good direction. They already have the resources, but they just need to add like a little bit to add the women. And at the moment, the women are not expensive, so it's not a major cost for those
Correct.
teams
It
to
isn't.
start it. But if they can have 10 riders or whatever, and they can pay them a salary, and I'm talking of small amounts, say €2,500, that's 10 women that can live of it. So yeah,
Absolutely.
we're moving in the right direction, but yeah, it's not done overnight. but I'm positive that we will get there.
I'm positive too. I must say that, so I live in northern Spain, in Oviedo, which is like in the mountains, but it's the first year that Movistar, which is our TV channel here, has publicized all of the women's races, including Tour de Burgos, which you once did, I think, and actually have dedicated a channel to women's sport. And cycling here is extremely huge. So I see that is now on the upward trend. And I think having heroes in different parts of the sport too, like, Laura Messenger from Eurosport is like a national hero here. And the more she gets behind women's cycling, so it's a whole kind of movement. I totally agree with you.
Yes, there has to be women behind the scenes as well, because only men will make it happen. We women have to work on it, especially behind the scenes, so that there are riders that can actually also profit from it. And that's also where the role comes in of many retired athletes like Anna van der Breggen. She's a DS now. I mean, that's great. She'll move the sport forward. And those are the goals of women we need.
And now there are women in the peloton who are, and you have to forgive me because I spend most of my time on the road, so I probably know more about the women in road than in mountain biking. But there are women who have branded themselves very, very well. Yeah, like if you look at Ashley Moolman-Pasio, okay, she has the resources behind her, but she has done a very good job of kind of owning something and then tying her brand to that. I have no idea kind of the salaries that come from that. But I think that's also potentially like something for women to take from the men's peloton in terms of additional branding. I'm probably saying this because I come from a marketing background, but yeah, I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, that's definitely true. There are definitely women that can, or more women that can probably make that. I think if I look at a lot of men in the pro peloton, like say between position 50 and 100 or whatever, they hardly have followers on Instagram. Nobody really knows them. It's only the top people. When women, I guess you can definitely make more out of it. It's difficult in the beginning, I would say. You need a followership, and to build that, you either need results or you need, I don't know, you need to be very pretty, like Puk Moonen. She does a really good job in that. But also, I think for me, that is quite difficult coming from a small country, from Namibia. I'm saying small in number of people, not in the distance or place we have. But it's 2 million people. Like, you don't have followers from that. And then living in Switzerland now, it's exactly the same. If I look in Spain, if during the Titan Desert and those races, the people go crazy. And even the Italians, they live for the sport. They are very enthusiastic and everything. And the Swiss are not like that. The Swiss, if you tell them I'm a professional athlete, and then they're like, so what do you earn your money with? How do you work? That can't be it. And you're like, hello, like, why can't that be it? Why can't I be an athlete? And it just shows the mentality of I would say, Northern Europeans. I think it's similar in Germany, where people don't live this sport and it's not recognized as a job. And so you have to go down to the south. That's also why I actually have discovered Spain for me a little bit. It's beautiful. It's awesome people. It's good riding. It's good weather. Compared to Switzerland, it's very cheap.
Come stay anytime.
So I'm actually on my way to Spain now. With a nice tour at Mont Ventoux. We always drive past here and we always say, we still have to come ride here for a few days. So we're actually staying here for 4 days and then going further to Spain for a little bit more training and then also racing there, because the Spanish people, they live the sport. If you ask them for invitation for the races, they invite
crazy.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it. And especially in Girona, in area, it's incredible. Everybody's friendly, everybody says hi. I'm sure if you live there, there's always somebody you can ride with. There's so many people that ride, so many pros also. I mean, there's a reason why so many pros live there too. So yeah, you have to make the best of it.
Absolutely. I always say here, like when I moved here, I had no idea. It was like, there's only a word I can say that you will understand, or any South Africans listening to the show, but they are like cycling before, like it's just cycling. Cool. So, what is the major race? If you could have your tick next year, what is that race for you?
Whew, that's a difficult one. Maybe Olympic Games without mountains. Because the past two Olympics had too many mountains in it.
Okay, cool. Tell us, how is this is one of my favorite questions. How is life like a bicycle in your perspective?
Keeps on turning.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. It's probably like a downhill. Like people told me, I went up Mont Ventoux yesterday, and people tell me, I love that mountain. I'm like, I don't understand the love for a mountain. I understand the love for awesome mountain bike, single track, or for a really nice mountain pass going down. But I don't understand the love for a mountain, like especially going up a mountain.
So
it's hard, and I'm definitely more downhill rider.
No, I do not like downhill at all. I will take uphill any time of the day.
But it's also probably the saying, life is not all downhill. I think that's true. Exactly it. You always have to climb a mountain to go back down.
That is it. And if you could have your way before the end of the year in terms of stage wins or victories that you would want, what is the one race you would choose?
I wouldn't mind winning the world champs. But let's stay realistic. Definitely coming to one to Wales. It's quite a big race in South Africa. South Africa is almost like my second home. I studied there. I lived there for 5 years. I met my husband there. I only have good memories from South Africa. So I think definitely going back to South Africa, racing there in front of so many people I know, next to a good friend of mine. So yeah, that will probably be it.
Nice. It's always something that amazes me when I chat to pro athletes. It's like speaking to you. It's like, oh, she speaks 3 languages. She studied. It's just amazing, like the level of character that comes through. So, yeah, kudos to you. There is very much more to you than just a pretty face and strong legs. So, yeah. Please keep inspiring us. Please continue the forge ahead in women's cycling. And for those of you who are listening, please follow Vera Looser on Instagram. I will share the link. And if you are connected in any kind of brand, I would say you would want to link to Vera round about now. Just before her price in value goes up a lot. And you are welcome to get details from me, or I will put all her links on the podcast link. Vera, I really want to say thank you for your time today, especially since you had to record the first part twice. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Lisa.
A special shout out to my guest today, Vera. Thank you for your patience. We had to record a large chunk of the show twice, so thank you, Vera. Ladies and gentlemen, I never cease to be amazed by the power of the human spirit and the woman on the show. I hope it moves you as much as it moves me. You know, I think we see Instagram and people flying around the world, and like most of our lives, the reality is quite different from what other people think it is. So kudos to every single one of you who is busy doing your own race in life. You know, as I said in my last show, that's what all of us are doing. We're busy currently running our own race. So I wish you strength. As I said, I hope these stories move you. If they do, please rate the show on iTunes, drop me a line. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, I wish you Velo Dulce.